eventually, Dan Smith and Alan got together and were deciding that they were going to practice songs and they were going to go play some open mics and I guess start a band. I went over to Dan's house and they were doing this. I'm like, what are you doing? They told me. And I was like, great, I'll be your singer. Just kind of barreled my way in, I think, at least if my recollection is correct. And so we very quickly broke out stuff from the aforementioned 4-track recordings and worked up some songs from that to play. And we went to the 19th hole in the Woodlands, Texas, and we played the open mic, and it was very well received. And I think it was probably the second week. It was like at that point that Dan and Alan went and got Rick Krause and said he's going to be our manager. Like, it was like, oh, we're doing a band. And they said, and we want Mary Ellis in the band. And Mary had hung around during One Tribe days and kind of wanted to be involved. She's very talented, and she's my best friend. But I wanted to be Bono. I didn't want a partner. And here I was again. I thought I was going to be Bono, and here we are. Within a week, Mary comes in. Well, Mary had played with choirs, and she had a very massive understanding of harmony, and especially with Good Day, harmony was like a very necessary thing to the success of that song. And she came in immediately, like first practice, and she put us through the ringer and taught us how to harmonize. And none of us really knew how to harmonize. And by the end of that practice, we had Good Day. And I was sold. I was like, okay. And so at the time, we came out and called ourselves Love Rhino, because that's what me and Danny were calling our 4-track recordings. We were Love Rhino. After a while, we felt like this isn't Love Rhino, and so we held a contest at this club that we had been very successful at coming up, called Instant Karma, called Name the Band. Everybody put stuff in, but none of it worked. We had switched briefly, now that I'm thinking of it, briefly from Love Rhino to Jovial Toad, which I quite like, Jovial Toad. And I remember the contest. I remember at one point somebody had written, "Why Bother?" which I still think's funny. And I remember Mary was back behind the hand drums and they're reading the names off, and she reads "Why Bother?" and Mary stands up and goes, "Fuck you." And I remember Goddess Mary and the Mortal Goddess. I quite like that one. Maybe if Natives Are Restless, if we ever try to come back and play again, maybe we should actually book ourselves as Goddess Mary and the Mortal Guys. That would be a funny thing. All that happened, and I want to say it was Danny that suggested it. But somebody said, what if we call it Natives Are Restless? Immediately clicked, and well, the rest is history. That band actually got over the hump. That band actually booked gigs. That band actually did something for itself. So that's the next band, Natives Are Restless.